In medical coding, one of the most confusing topic for fresher medical coders or experienced medical coders is congestive heart failure coding. As we are having different variants of CHF ICD-10 CM codes exist in ICD-10 CM codebook. As all of us know, if you are having any type of decision tree, we will code any type of complex subject into easy coding. Hence, in order to help the medical coders who are confused about CHF coding, otherwise we will call it as congestive heart failure or heart failure, I am going to help you to use the decision tree. Using this decision tree, you will code CHF in easy steps. If you are visiting for the first time, please click on subscribe button. After watching this session, if you like it, please click on like button. And if you are having any confusion after watching this session too, please mention in the comment section of this video. So here our today's topic is ICD-10 CM decision tree. So in order to understand the decision tree, first we need to understand definitions related to CHF. Why means in our decision tree we are going to know or we are going to find all these keywords. First we need to understand heart failure. So the other name for heart failure is CHF or congestive heart failure. So what is heart failure? So heart failure is a condition where the heart can't pump enough blood to meet the body's needs. As all of us know, because of the heart pumping action, blood supplies into all the organs of the body. So during the heart failure, heart is unable or can't pump enough blood into the body organs or body tissues. So that is the heart failure. So here just you need to remember heart failure or otherwise you will call it as HF or CHF or congestive heart failure. Both are same. Next we need to understand diastolic heart failure. So the other name for diastolic heart failure is HFPEF. What is this? Heart failure with preserved ejection fraction, which occurs when the heart ventricles, pumping chambers become stiff and have difficulty relaxing and filling with blood. So basically this diastolic heart failure is related to the heart ventricles, which are the pumping chambers of the heart. During the diastolic heart failure, these walls of ventricle become stiff and they are unable to relax and filling with blood. So indirectly, which means heart can pump effectively but not fill properly between beats, leading to a buildup of pressure and fluid. So heart can pump easily, but it can't fill because of the stiffness of the ventricle chambers or ventricle walls. Next we are having systolic heart failure, also known as HFrEF, heart failure with reduced fraction or heart failure with reduced ejection fraction, which occurs when the heart left ventricle weakens and can't contract normally, leading to reduced blood circulation. So basically this systolic heart failure is only related to left ventricle, so which can't contract normally, which means the heart struggles to pump enough blood to the body, potentially causing shortness of breath, fatigue and swelling in the extremities. So because heart is not functioning well, fluid will accumulate in the body organs. So most of the time we will see swelling in the extremities because of this heart failure. If the patient is having systolic heart failure, the common symptoms will be SOB, fatigue and swelling in extremities. So these most of the time in the documentation we will see HFPEF and HFrEF. Instead of mentioning heart failure with reduced ejection fraction, patient will mention HFrEF. So that time we need to understand HFrEF means heart failure with reduced ejection fraction. So if anyone looking for medical coding jobs in UAE, India or UAE or USA, please join in our WhatsApp group link which is in the description of this video. And also if anyone looking for APC's free webinars for free CUs, you can join in our WhatsApp group. Group link is in the description of this video. And also if anyone looking for same day surgery training, please send message to 707-526-3939. So now we will see CHF coding decision tree. Okay, so whenever you want to code CHF, we need to check the acuity. Acuity means severity basically. So whether it is diastolic or systolic or combined diastolic and systolic. Okay. For example, in the documentation, if we see diastolic heart failure. Okay. So for acute, we need to use I-53-1. For chronic diastolic failure, we need to use I-53-2. If the documentation contains acute and chronic diastolic heart failure, we need to use I-50-33. And if the documentation does not contain any acuity related to heart failure, we need to use I-50-30. So this is for diastolic heart failure. Now we need to check for systolic. Okay. So first we need to check the acuity. Acuity means severity basically, whether it is acute, and chronic or unspecified. In the documentation, for example, if you see systolic heart failure, then you need to check for acuity, whether it is acute and chronic or unspecified. So based on this table, if it is acute systolic heart failure, we need to use I-50.21. If it is chronic, we need to use I-50.22. If it is an acute and chronic, we need to use I-50.23. And if it is unspecified, we need to use I-50.20. So if you observe here in the documentation for systolic, we are having I-50.2 series. For diastolic, we are having I-50.3 series. Okay. In the same way, in the documentation, if you see combined diastolic with systolic heart failure, we need to use these codes. Here you will find for acute I-50.41, for chronic I-50.42, acute and chronic I-50.43 and unspecified I-50.40. Okay. So based on this code also we can identify what is the type of heart failure. So for example, if you know the type of the heart failure, you need to find the acuity first, and based on the acuity you need to use these codes. So our minimum base level code is I-5020. So this is for systolic, I-5030 is for diastolic, I-5040 is for combined systolic and diastolic. So next we need to check for step 1 assign code. For example, in the operative report or documentation, if we see heart failure in rheumatic heart disease. Okay. So that time we need to use I09.81, and step 2 we need to code for type of heart failure, whether it is diastolic, systolic or combined systolic and diastolic. Okay. So next one is in the documentation contains heart failure with hypertensive heart disease without hypertensive renal disease. So basically here patient is having hypertension as well as heart failure. Patient does not have any type of disease related to kidneys. So that time first we need to assign I11.0, and our second step we need to assign type of heart failure. For example, in the documentation, if we see patient is having hypertension, CHF as well as the kidney disease. So that time we need to code or we need to check hypertension, cardiorenal with heart failure. So this is the major combination code for hypertension, heart failure as well as CHF I13.0. Okay. In the second step, we need to code type of the heart failure. In the third step, we need to code for type of renal disease based on the stage. So thank you coders. Thanks for visiting our channel. If you like this session, please click on like button. And also if you like this session, please share it with your friends. And if you are having any confusion or if you want to learn any other topic, please mention in the comment section of this video. And if anyone looking for same day surgery training, please send WhatsApp message to 707-526-3939. Always my intention is to help the medical coders as much as possible.